Hi students, how are you all? Today we are back to see the third part of political parties. Okay, so in this lesson, as you know, we are talking about different political parties and their ideologies, their formation, their share and participation in Lok Sabha election. Okay, so in these national political parties, we have discussed about Indian National Congress in last lecture. Okay, now we will come to second biggest political party of India, that is BJP. Okay, as you know very well, this is one of the most prominent party of India. As as you know that Congress is the oldest party, but BJP is second, not second oldest party, but this is one of the biggest political party nowadays, as you know very well. Okay, so let's talk about it. As you know very well, this is the symbol of BJP. Okay, you can see there is a lotus. Okay, and the shade it is Keshari. Okay, so here let's talk. First of all, we'll talk about the history of BJP. Okay, see, directly BJP was not formed. Bharatiya Janata Party is the conglomeration, or we can say uh, alliance of 3-4 political parties earlier when it was formed. So first of all, we'll talk about it. See, as you know very well, RSS, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha, I think it was established in 1925 or 26 here and there by Dr. Hedgewar. Okay, so what was his ideology? The ideology was that this nation is of Hindus. Okay, so Hinduism should be promoted. Second thing, complete means our history is very glorious. So we should look at it, not towards Britishers. Okay, and it was related to Hinduism. So that was the basic ideology and complete nationalism they were talking about. So in 1925, RSS was formed. Now, afterwards, RSS was thinking that there should be a political wing, means we are doing social work. But if you really want to make a change in society, in country, then you have to go in politics. So this service giving organization moved towards politics. Okay, and with the help of Shama Prasad Mukherjee, okay, they sent their first candidate in Lok Sabha election. That was Deen Dayal Upadhyay. Okay, he went in election. He contested the election, but the political wing, the political party that was Jana Sangha, was formed by Shama Prasad Mukherjee. Okay, so in this way, earlier Jana Sangha was formed. Then, as you know very well, in 1975, emergency was declared by Indira Gandhi. To oppose that, many Janasangha political leaders they opposed it. Okay, and that's why they were sent to jail. Okay, so Ram Prakash Narayan, then Lal Krishna Advani, all these people were there in that. So finally, when this emergency was stopped, it was receded. Then general election of Lok Sabha were taken in 1977. In these elections, uh, in 1977, in this election, again the BJP lost the election, means BJP was not formed at that time. So finally, in 1980, with alliance of other political parties, BJP was formed. Lal Krishna Advani was there, then Atal Bihari Vajpayee was also there. Okay, then yes, these people were there, but BJP was not alone. There were few other political parties, those who joined this rightist and central wing. Okay, so what happens here? BJP knew very well that only one party, means because at that time Congress was very big party, very big party. So finally, in 1980, BJP was formed. Okay, so founded in 1980 by reviving the erstwhile Bharatiya Jana Sangha, as I told you, Bharatiya Jana Sangha. Okay, so again about ideology, we'll come to it afterwards. So what happened afterwards? In 1977 elections were won. Then in 1984 Indira Gandhi was killed. Okay, so because of this Rajiv Gandhi came. Now there was possibility that after emergency and after the rule of Indira Gandhi, definitely Congress will lose election, but it didn't happen. Okay, Rajiv Gandhi got sympathy from the people because his mother died. Okay, so as a sympathy he got many votes, above 400 votes he got, above 400. Out of 514 votes he got 400, I think 5 or 6 votes. That was a big that was a record at that time. Okay, so because of this sympathy he won the election, and finally in 1989 again Rajiv Gandhi was killed. But this it continued. Finally elections were contested again, and uh, in 1998 BJP government comes, but it lasted only for few days because that was the government of coalition, and other political, you know very well what is the meaning of coalition. So after few days or after few months, other political parties, they just took out their support, and because of this BJP collapsed, so they could not rule. So again after 1 year only, means 1919, elections were taken again. Okay, so if we move forward, then from 1919 there was a power of NCM. Okay, and after that 2004 to 2014, you know very well, these 10 years India was governed by Manmohan Singh, means UPA. Okay, United Progressive Alliance. Okay, so this is all about Bharatiya Janata Party, this history. And finally in 2014, finally with clear majority BJP won election, and nowadays BJP is ruling our country, BJP is governing our country. Clear? So what is the ideology of Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP? Let's talk about it first. As you know, Bharatiya Janata Party is a political wing of RSS. So many political leaders of BJP, they came from RSS. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, RSS. Then Rajnath Singh, I don't know about Rajnath Singh. Amit Shah, RSS. Modi ji, RSS. Then Atal Bihari Vajpayee, RSS. Lal Krishna Advani, he was from RSS. Then Deen Dayal Upadhyay, he was from. Many political leaders just now are, I think, defense minister. I'm not getting his name exactly. He was chief minister of Goa, then he was made defense minister of India, and just before few days he's just passed away. Okay, so he was also from RSS. So many political leaders, they are from RSS, as it is a political wing of RSS. So all these people, they are disciplined, or they are what we can say, controlled by the discipline of RSS. So you can see the impact of the thoughts from RSS. So their ideology matches with Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha. What is their ideology? Let's talk about it first. It wants to build a strong and modern India by drawing inspiration from India's ancient culture and values, as I told you. And that's why in 1992, with the aid of Lal Krishna Advani, they gave support to Hindu Mahasabha, so that the temple of Ram will be built at the place of Babri Masjid, as it was collapsed. That is a big history, as you know. Okay, so all these ancient culture and values, by these values and ancient culture, we should build a strong nation and modern India. Okay, and the inspiration should be from our ancient values. That was the ideology of these people. Cultural nationalism, okay, that is Hindutva. Okay, Hindu people should be promoted. Means promoted first means, at least, as you know very well, secular and socialist. These two words are added after some years, I think after 1975. Okay, after the amendment, means when emergency was declared by Indira Gandhi. After that, when amendment took place in constitution, then these two words are added, secular and socialist. Means when we talk about these five pillars, five golden words of constitution, democratic, republic, and again not getting a republic, democratic, socialist, secular, and what is fifth word? Okay, we'll come to know about it afterwards. But in these five words, these two words are added afterwards. Which two words? Socialist and secular. So just now before few days, I read one news that this appeal has been sent to Supreme Court that these two words should be taken away from the constitution, because these two words are not added by the real constitutioners. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, he was very particular about it. He didn't want India as a secular country. He didn't want India as a socialist country. He was thinking that socialism is a threat to India. Okay, so Hindutva means this country should not be secular. Other people, they can live in our country peacefully. Okay, so that is the ideology of BJP. Then, and this is very clear to everyone, that these two words are added by Congress after emergency. This is very clear to everyone, secular and socialist. Then element in its conception of Indian nationhood and politics, wants full territorial and political integration of Jammu and Kashmir with India. BJP thinks that Jammu and Kashmir is complete part of India. Means, as you know very well, earlier there was different system, facilities and articles given to Jammu and Kashmir. For example, Indians, those who are living in other parts of India except Jammu and Kashmir, they can't purchase land in Jammu and Kashmir. But the people of Jammu and Kashmir, they can come to any part of India and they can purchase. Okay, first thing. Second, they were having their own flag and constitution. Only the external affairs, then defense, all these things will be handled by Indian government. But they were having special right. At that time, these facilities were given to them. Okay, definitely there was such a condition. That's why we had to do that. But it was temporary. In constitution, it was mentioned that these laws and articles are temporary. So now we have changed it completely, as you know very well. Okay, so Jammu and Kashmir, it should be completely integrated with India. Okay, and now we have done that. Then second demand was a uniform civil code. If all people, they are living in India, then they all should be treated equally. Then you will answer, then aren't they treated equally? Let me give you some examples. Okay, so how means in front of law, everybody is not same. We have given somewhere religious freedom to the people, because every time government can't interrupt in religion, but sometimes to avoid threat, to avoid malfunctioning of the society, or to avoid unfair practices in society, they have to interrupt. Okay, for example, to keep away the untouchability from the people, government interrupted and they brought the law, they brought the fundamental right of equality, right to equality. Okay, in this way. So how in front of the law we are different sometimes religiously, that we'll see. Okay, as you know very well, we are not allowed to keep weapon with us. Okay, but still our Sikh brothers, Sikh community, they are allowed to keep those five things with them. That is turban, their beard, then that knife, okay, that kada in their hand. So and what we can say, their jata we can say. Okay, so in this way, these five things they can keep. But knife, it is not allowed in the constitution, but still we have given them that freedom. Okay, then one man can marry one, okay, one woman. So that is also sometimes not applicable to all. So in some religious matter, government give this freedom. So what was the intention of BJP? They are saying that there should be uniform civil code. Means those people who are living in India, they should have equality in front of the law. Everybody should be same. Okay. Then for all people living in country, irrespective of religion, and ban on religious convergence. This is again very important topic. Many other religions, for example, if you talk about the history, when Mughals came to India, they converted many people from India. Okay, they converted the people of India forcefully. They converted Hindus into Muslims. Okay, then Christians, they came, they converted Hindus by giving them some temptation, or by just filling their belly, they converted them into Christianity. So this conversion should be stopped. You cannot convert anybody just giving him temptation or just forcing him. Nobody has this right. No Hindu can convert any Muslim into Hinduism, and no Muslim can convert any Hindu or any other communities into Islam. They don't have this right. If they are doing so, this is completely illegal. Okay, so they want completely ban on religious conversions. If somebody wants to convert into any community willingly, okay, then he can go into that religion. So this is the ideology of Bharatiya Janata Party. Then their support increased in 1990s. Okay, then earlier they were just limited to north side and west and to urban areas, but the party expanded its support to the south, east and the northeast and to rural areas. They came to power in 1998, as I told you, but at that time it was an alliance, National Democratic Alliance, NDA. Okay, and in this, several states they won Lok Sabha seats, okay, and regional parties. But finally, as I told you, it was a temporary government. Only for it lasted for a few days, and again in 1999, elections were taken again. Okay, and at that time, Sharad Pawarji, I think he came. Yes, okay. So in 2004, from 2004, again elections were taken, Lok Sabha elections, and in those elections BJP lost completely, and Congress came into the power with alliance. Okay, United Progressive Alliance. So for these 10 years they continued, and finally absolute power with clear majority, BJP won election in 2014. So I gave you many details about BJP. I talked a lot about this because this is very important political party as well as Congress party. Okay, so these two political parties, as they are biggest party of our India, so I gave you many details about it. Now next political parties will not have this much discussion. Okay, so for today this much is enough. Okay, so I'll stop here. So this was all about BJP. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.